big fight announcement. Alexander Volkanovski is coming back to 145, and he's going to be fighting Yair Rodriguez for UFC 290, happening on July 8th, and they're going to be unifying the belts as Yair is the interim champion, Volkanovski is the actual champion. He's the undisputed champion. If Volk wins, he would beat Max Holloway to have the second most title wins in featherweight history. Right now, he and Max both have 5 title wins. He wins this, he'll have 6, and he'll extend his title defenses to 5 as well. If Yair Rodriguez wins, we would have 3 undisputed Mexican-born champions, all getting the belts in a calendar year, which is such an insane achievement. This has a lot of stakes, and no, it's not going to be the main event. This is actually going to be the co-main event, as it seems like they're hoping to have Jon Jones versus Stipe as the main event. So that card is looking to be extremely stacked, as they're going to be having the 2 top pound-for-pound fighters in the world on the same card. Jon Jones and Volkanovski are deemed to be like the best fighters in the world right now. And to see both of them perform against dangerous opponents, Stipe and then Yair Rodriguez, is going to be a treat to watch here, because Yair is on a bit of momentum here. He's better than he's ever been before. He has more confidence than ever before. Performed very well against Max Holloway, even though he did lose the fight. Looked amazing against Josh Emmett, showcasing legitimate, dangerous submission skills, and always has the unpredictable Taekwondo style to go with it. But it definitely does seem like his overall game plan is going to be heavily reliant on landing some kind of crazy head kick or flying knee or something. His athleticism combined with his height and reach, and his constant output, constant offense, could be a bit of a problem for Volkanovski to deal with. I see a lot of people right now completely overlooking Yair Rodriguez. They think that Volk is going to go in there and just absolutely dominate him. It can happen. We could potentially see a Frankie Edgar kind of performance against Yair. If you don't remember, Frankie absolutely destroyed Yair Rodriguez, derailed that hype back when Yair was a big hype train, and Frankie used his wrestling, took him to the ground, and pummeled him with ground and pound. We could see a very similar thing happen here with Volkanovski, who's bigger, stronger, more powerful, overall a better grappler than Frankie Edgar, evident in his last fight with Islam Makhachev. I mean, he was able to get good positions on Islam of all people and escape those submission attempts. If he could do that to Islam on the ground, as well as escape Brian Ortega's submissions, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be able to do the same thing as Yair. But the difference here is, Yair is not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter, right? He's never been known to be that. He has an active guard, but that's not where his biggest strengths are. And sometimes game planning can make certain areas of your approach weaker. So we might actually not see Volkanovski's grappling defense be as good as it was against Islam and Ortega, because that's what you had to constantly train for. Against Islam and Ortega, the main thing is to defend the wrestling and the grappling. But against Yair, it's a completely different skill set. The thing he has to be game planning the most against are the kicks and the movement and the switching of stances. And sometimes when you're game planning against kicks, it can open you up to certain other things that probably would not be opened up when he's game planning for a grappler. For instance, if he's looking to catch the kicks, Yair can pull the guard and go right into a triangle immediately or something like that, which is a different dynamic than what Volkanovski's been fighting up against. So there is a level of danger here that Volk has never come up against before. It's the same kind of thing why his striking didn't look as clean against Islam as it did when he fought Max Holloway and Korean Zombie, because against Max and Korean Zombie, the biggest thing he had to game plan for is the striking. That's why his striking looks so clean compared to when he fought Islam, where it looked a little bit sloppier. But his grappling looked really clean against Islam, and it just tells you the intelligence that Volk is able to go into these fights with. He's able to game plan for his opponents so well. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he completely figures out Yair Rodriguez and just bulldozes him. I wouldn't be surprised, but I would never count out someone like Yair, who has the ability to come back in a fight that he's losing at any moment. I mean, look what he did against Korean Zombie. Crazy elbow out of nowhere. His ability to catch you with head kicks and flying knees and elbows and spinning attacks, and even his boxing, fundamental boxing, has gotten so much better. His submission ability is always there. He's one of the most dangerous opponents with lethal techniques that Volkanovski can fight right now. But on Yair Rodriguez's side, he has to expect a fully well-rounded fighter. He's going to have to expect the wrestling. He's going to have to expect good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu defense. He's going to have to expect a good transitioning game when it comes to the ground. Phenomenal boxing, great leg kicks, which is progressively going to take away a lot of Yair's movement and his ability to throw kicks himself. And potentially even look out for pressure. It's harder to kick while you're on the back foot. Now, a Taekwondo style is going to allow you to kick better while you're on the back foot, which is something Yair is going to be able to do, but it makes it much riskier to do that. You become much more open. It's almost like a last line of attack before something big happens. When you're you're kicking on the back foot, either you're going to land it or your opponent's going to land something big on you, whether it's a takedown or a punch or something like that. So it's almost like a gamble kicking on the back foot if you are able to do it. And even though Yair's offensive boxing has gotten so much better, his defensive boxing, the ability to guard punches, slip punches, hasn't really caught up with his offense yet. So I could definitely see him getting jabbed a lot, just like Max Holloway did, landing a good jab, a good 1-2 on him. His head was there to be hit before and after Yair was throwing punches. Volk's defense overall is just so much superior when it comes to his boxing. And he has an excellent jab, and it's long too. And if he's able to find that jab, his right straight is going to connect as well. That's eventually going to come out there with a lot of power and a lot of speed. Because as we saw, the difference between Volkanovski from 155 to 145 is he's much faster at 145. He may be more powerful at 155. He's able to hurt you with more punches, just like he did against a much bigger fighter in Islam, hurt him when he connected. You didn't see the same kind of power at 145. And we know that Yair Rodriguez has a granite chin. I mean, he was eating Josh Emmett's bombs, man. Who eats Josh Emmett's punches? Yair Rodriguez does. So Volk cannot expect to just go out there and knock him out. He's going to have to expect a long drawn out fight with a Mexican warrior out there, because Yair is going to be coming at him every step of the way. But the thing about Volkanovski is he has to set up his offense off of his leg kicks. And it's a trickier situation with Yair because yes, Yair doesn't check kicks a whole lot, and he does have very long legs out there for the taking, but he does have a very good ability to lift his lead leg up faster than most fighters. So in whatever stance he is, and that's another thing, he does switch stances all the time, so the targeting is going to be very different for Volk, who usually takes the orthodox stance that throws lead leg kicks. If Yair picks up that lead leg that's getting targeted by the leg kick fast enough to get over the leg kick, and then he connects on Volk with it, that changes the whole dynamic of the fight. It's something I've been talking about in my podcast already. A great ability to completely stifle a calf kick is a quick ability to throw a side kick. If you could lift that lead leg up above that leg kick and counter with a side kick, you're going to hit them right off balance, back them up, and it's going to take away their ability to find range on you. And if Volk cannot land those leg kicks, usually his punches don't land the same way either. So that should be actually a big thing for Yair to game plan for. Eliminate those leg kicks as much as possible. And he has to put combinations together with his kicks as well. He doesn't want to straight up box a Volkanovski, even inside of short exchanges. He doesn't want to go with the 1-2, jab right hook or something like that, because Volk has an excellent ability of jabbing, pulling on your return counter, and then countering you with his right hand. He's very good at doing that. But what changes that whole exchange up is if Yair meets Volkanovski in the exchange, throws a jab, but then throws up a head kick after, Volkanovski's head movement can cause him to get knocked out or stunned by that kick. Because it's not going to be a punch he's going to pull or slip on for his counter. He's going to be pulling and slipping a kick, and him trying to pull or slip a head kick is not going to really work out. And whenever you see Volk defend a head kick, he's usually blocking it with one hand. You saw this in the Islam Makhachev fight. He got dropped by a head kick when he fought Max Holloway. It's honestly the biggest thing going for Yair, who kicks better than anybody Volk's ever fought before. But then again, you do have to know that Volk is really good at going into the fights with a good game plan and knowing how to address the opponent's strengths. So he's definitely going to be game planning for the high kicks. Yair is going to be the most unpredictable guy that Volk has ever fought before, but I ultimately do think that Volk should win. So leave in the comments below, what do you guys think? Who do you have winning the fight? How do you think it's going to happen? Will it be competitive? Will it be a one-sided fight? It should be a really good one.